Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and if you guys know, as usual, when I do award show live streams, I usually do them as just my predictions video. But because of the fact that I have someone that's probably going to be on my live stream most likely, I want to thank, of course, my guest here, Mosies, aka Caden LaPlante, for joining me. Definitely, it's great to have him. He wanted to join me because he's going to be watching the Golden Globes, and we want to talk about some of what's been going on. But of course, if you guys don't know what this video is, it's basically us. We're going to read off the nominees for the Golden Globes. We're going to talk about what we want to win and what we think should win, give our predictions, things like that. Caden might be dropping out when I talk about the TV because he doesn't really care as much about that. So if you guys don't like him, you'll see him for like half the video. But let's get into this. We're going to get into the movie stuff first because that's really the big stuff. There's some really good nominations. I want to say that right off the bat. Really good nominations this year. I was very pleased by most of the nominations, definitely. I don't really think there was anything that didn't really deserve to get nominated, except for some things in the TV department. In the movie department, however, I really feel everyone does deserve it. I think they're all very deserving, but let's just get into it. Starting off with the big one, of course. We're just going to get started with the big one because it's the one that I know we have the most to say. Okay, Caden, so we're going to just say this right now. What do you think is going to get Best Motion Picture Drama? We have the nominations. We have Mad Max Fury Road, Room, Spotlight, The Revenant, and Carol. Out of these 5 movies, what do you think has the best chance of getting that win?
Spotlight.
And why do you think Spotlight?
Because Spotlight, when you really think about it, which movie is really a drama? Yes, The Revenant's a drama. Yes, Mad Max a drama. But like really like a big drama-wise the Spotlight is. And Spotlight was such I haven't seen it, but I heard it's such a disturbing movie. And when you look at the analytics of what's gonna win, Spotlight's at 78%, everything else is like 10 or 3 or something like that. Mad Max Fury Road actually is the least amount of winning. And yeah. So I'm thinking Spotlight's gonna get it, but if it doesn't, then it's gonna be The Revenant.
I mean, I was shocked when I heard that Mad Max Fury Road got nominated. Definitely. I mean, I thought it at least had a chance, but not Best Drama. I mean, that means it could have a chance of getting Best Picture. It really could, and I think it might, honestly. Me personally, the one you guys know that I want to win is Room because that's the one I enjoyed the most out of all these. Plus, I think it's the one that really is the most drama out of the 5 because, that movie really does rely on drama and like things like that. Spotlight does as well, but Room definitely does deserve that. I will agree with you, though, that I think Spotlight definitely has a very good chance of winning. It has a very big ensemble cast, and it is a pure drama. There is no action in Spotlight, while there is action in Room. The Revenant is the one that I think is actually least likely. I think The Revenant's not going to win because, just in my opinion, I don't really think it's a drama, but it's definitely more of a thriller, and it's not the thing that makes the movie the best. The best thing that makes the movie the best, we will get into what it really deserves to win. Carol, I think, has a good chance as well, but I don't think Carol's going to get it. Carol might get some things, but it's not going to Best Motion Picture. It's not going to. Even though you might want it to, I don't think it's going to. But anyway, those are nominations for Best Motion Picture Drama. Definitely, it could be a very interesting race to see who could win. I mean, there are a lot of really possible outcomes here. For all we know, Mad Max Fury Road could get it. I mean, we could be completely dumbfounded and think it could get it. I've said this before, guys. Analytics means nothing, honestly. You could look at a list and be like, this is what is most likely to get it. That is based on what people think are going to happen. That's what that's based on most of the time. It is not based on the officials. We don't know the people that are actually voting what they want to win is going to be. We don't really know what that is. So that definitely makes me very intrigued, and definitely I'm very interested in seeing what's going to win Best Motion Picture Drama. So those are nominations for that. The next category we have is, I think, just as important, honestly. I know some people might be like, oh, it's not as important.
If you hear any rain, just ignore it.
Yeah, it's like storming outside my house. It's pretty crazy. But the next category we have, like I said, I feel is just as important as Best Drama because, it's the other big category. Why I keep freezing, but anyway, the next category we have is for Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. Few surprises here, honestly. I was surprised by some of the things that got nominated. We got The Big Short, The Martian, Joy, of all things, I wouldn't really consider Joy a comedy. I think it's a really good movie, but I don't really think it's a comedy. I think the only reason it got nominated so Joy could get something, which I kind of understand. Spy, which definitely Spy deserves it. One of the funniest movies of last year, without a doubt, and then Trainwreck as well. They both really do deserve it. Me personally, I really think this is going to go with The Martian. I mean, when you think of pure comedies, most people said The Martian was the best at doing that. And yes, Spy is the most comedy out of all of these. But what was the thing that made The Martian so great? The fact that it was it didn't go in the conditional way it would have. It was completely unconditional in the way it was told. It was told in this fun style rather than being this very serious movie. And yeah, there are serious moments that are very much, like I said, like Castaway. I've said that before. But to me, I think The Martian is definitely going to get it, and I think it really does deserve it. I mean, it's very funny. It constantly had me laughing. It has what a good comedy should have. None of the laughs are like slapstick. It's all pretty much like dialogue and just the way that Mark Watney says things, and that alone is why I think The Martian is most likely going to get this one. Now, what do you think, Caden?
You basically just said everything I was going to say.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything to add?
Nope, because you said everything I was going to say.
Mm-hmm. So The Martian, it's pretty much a no-brainer here. The Martian is going to get it. If there was any other one, I would say maybe The Big Short, but I don't know. I haven't honestly heard too much about that movie. Like, it kind of came out, not as many people said as much about it. I am going to watch that before the Oscars come out because I'm pretty sure it's going to get nominated for a shit ton of Oscars, so I do want to check it out before then. But I don't really think that The Big Short is going to get. I think this is probably going to go with The Martian, and I will be very surprised if it doesn't go with The Martian. So definitely The Martian, I think, is the one that is going to be nominated for that. So then we get to these two big categories. And these two, I honestly have no idea what's going to happen. These next two categories, honestly, anything could happen. Because in my opinion, each person nominating these next two categories deserves it. There's no one in these next two categories I'm like, oh, they don't deserve it. They all deserve it, especially in Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture. Every single one of these actresses deserve it. Cerise Ronan in Brooklyn, Cate Blanchett, Carol, Rooney Mara, Carol, Brie Larson, Room, and Alicia Vikander, The Danish Girl. Now this is going to be where we go to the should win, would win, because the first two I feel like are a no-brainer, kind of what's going to get it. But this one, I'm really not sure, guys. I'm going to talk about who I want to get. And you guys know that the one I want is Brie Larson in Room. Brie Larson is just, Jacob Tremblay's amazing in that movie, but Brie Larson is so incredible, playing the character of Ma. And I'm not going to spoil it for you, Caden, if you do want to check it out. But she makes a lot of sacrifice for her son and things like that. The stuff that she goes through in the movie, she really just handles everything very, very well. I think her character is great. She has some incredible performances, some incredible scenes. I definitely feel she does deserve it. But a lot of people are saying it might go to Cate Blanchett for Carol, which I definitely could see happening. Definitely, I think that's a possibility. She won for Blue Jasmine. It's kind of a no-brainer. But then there's also Cerise Ronan for Brooklyn. I mean, she's the thing that makes that movie so, so great. Without Cerise Ronan, and also Cerise Ronan has said that is the best role she's ever played. It's her favorite role she's played and probably the best role she's ever played. And I will definitely agree. Not just because Cerise Ronan is Irish in real life and that she could very much relate to that role, but also just because of the fact that she got so into that character and you saw her as that character. I can't remember her name right now, but she got into A-List. That was her name. She really got into that character. She did an incredible job. So honestly, and Rooney Mara as well, Carol, she was great in that as well. Definitely, they both were really good. Alicia Vikander is the only one I don't want to get. I think she was fantastic in The Danish Girl. One of the best things about that movie. But out of the five, that is the one there. If she got it, I'd be like, I don't really know if she necessarily deserved it. I think she's nominating something else. I definitely feel she deserves more, which we'll get into. For me, Brie Larson Room is the one I want to win. Should win, I have no idea. What do you think, Caden?
You said everything again.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, next one. Again, I don't know who's going to get this. I really don't know who this could be. There are many possibilities for this one. But this one really, everyone here deserves it for the most part. Best performance by an actor in a motion picture. We have some incredible nominations here. We really do. We have Will Smith in Concussion, which honestly, he does deserve it. I mean, at first when I saw him, like, Will Smith, Concussion, but really looking back, he was the thing that made that movie. Like, when I look back on Concussion, the best thing about it was Will Smith. He got so into that role. You didn't see Will Smith playing this character. You saw him as Dr. Benedict Omalu, and he did that very well. For me, though, Michael Fassbender is the one that I think should win. I mean, he did not only portray Steve Jobs perfectly, he just got into that character so well. I never saw Michael Fassbender, and I think he just did fantastic. He got so lost into that role. He was fantastic in Steve Jobs, and I definitely feel that he should win. Who do I think could win? I'm not really sure. I think Caden might have some more possibilities of who could win, but what do you think about this one?
Leonardo DiCaprio's gonna win. He's won a lot of Golden Globes before, I believe. No, he didn't win. But Leonardo DiCaprio has won a lot of Golden Globes, and I think what he did with The Revenant overall, and what he did for that role, I honestly think that he might win it. I think that who's the rest of the nominees again?
Okay. Oh, yeah. I forgot to say. We have Will Smith for Concussion, Michael Fassbender, Steve Jobs, Eddie Redmayne, The Danish Girl, Leo DiCaprio, Revenant, and Bryan Cranston, Trumbo.
Well, I think that it's going to go this. Likely-wise, number 1, Leo. Number 2, Fassbender. 3, Redmayne. 4, Cranston. And 5, Smith.
Yeah, if Smith gets it, I'll be like, what the hell? That'll be very strange if that happens. But, again, Eddie Redmayne won last year for Theory of Everything, which I did not think was going to happen. So, and I'm not saying Eddie Redmayne doesn't deserve it, but just out of all of them, I don't really know if he necessarily gave as great a performance as he did. He did give a very good performance in The Danish Girl. It's just Alicia Vikander, I think, was the best thing about that movie, in my personal opinion. Because the script, like I said, was very choppy. But I will agree what you said with Leo. I mean, just the fact that most of the movie, he barely says anything. He has very minimal lines of dialogue. And when he does, some of it's not even in the English language. I really gives him props for that, because we're so used to playing Leo DiCaprio, playing these, charismatic, very well spoken. Yeah, The Revenant guys. That's basically what the fuck. Anyway,
what happened? You just looked. What happened?
You didn't hear that?
No, just how you reacted to something was funny. What happened?
There was like a huge bang. It was weird. But anyway, it sounded like there was like an explosion outside. But anyway, Leo DiCaprio, like I said, I think he definitely deserves it because he played a completely different role. I love how he's still trying to get into his roles, and he still is doing an amazing job. There's no sign of Leonardo DiCaprio, selling out. There's no sign of that. He definitely is trying to do something new, and I definitely really appreciate that. So yes, if he won, I think that would definitely be great. But my personal pick is Michael Fassbender. But like you said, I do think Leo DiCaprio has a very good chance of winning. So I don't really know about this one, guys. I think this one is probably, along with actress, is the one that is really just I think anyone here deserves to win. So basically, take your pick. That's what I say. Take your pick for that one. Next one, I can't really comment as much on this one because I didn't see like 3 of these movies that are nominated, so I can't really comment on it, but I am going to talk about it. Best performance by an actress in a motion picture, musical, or comedy. We have Lily Tomlin for Grandma, which of course I did not see, so I can't give my opinion on that. Jennifer Lawrence, Joy, Melissa McCarthy, Spy, Maggie Smith, The Lady in the Van, and Amy Schumer, Trainwreck. Now, you guys may be surprised by who I want to win this. You guys may think, oh, I'm going to say Melissa McCarthy, Spy. I'm actually not going to say that because Melissa McCarthy, when she's given great material, is hilarious. I knew that she could be very funny if she was given a great script. That I expect that from her. I expect her to be very funny when she's in good movies. And yes, Spy was a huge surprise, but Melissa McCarthy, she really is great, but the thing that made Spy so great was the screenplay. Without a doubt, the thing that made Trainwreck so great was Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer, without a doubt, is one of my favorite comedians working today. I think she's so funny. I think the things she comes up with is great. Knowing that she wrote the screenplay to that movie, and Inside Amy Schumer, she does most of the work. Like, Inside Amy Schumer is literally Inside Amy Schumer. Like, she directs it, she does the screenplay, she does pretty much everything. I mean, that show would not be as good without her, and Trainwreck would not be as good without Amy Schumer. Without a doubt, I feel she is the one that deserves it. Do I think she's going to win? No, I think it's pretty obvious it's probably going to go to Jennifer Lawrence. I mean, she wins everything that she's nominated for. And does she deserve it? Yes. Joy's a very good role. Me personally, though, Amy Schumer is the one I really want to win this. I'm pretty sure you agree, McCain, though, that Jennifer Lawrence is most likely going to be the one to get this. But Amy Schumer is the one that I personally would want. And yeah, so me personally, Amy Schumer, I think, should get it, but Jennifer Lawrence, I think, is going to get it. So Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture. Again, some movies I haven't seen, so I can't really say really too much about this category because most of the movies on this list I haven't even seen, so I'm just going to talk about who I think will win. We have Al Pacino, Danny Collins, which I don't really think most people saw. I mean, I was surprised he got nominated. I want to check that out, just didn't get a chance to. Mark Ruffalo, Infinitely Polar Bear, which he was great, but let's face it, the two kids were the best things about that movie. The two little girls were incredible. Christian Bale, The Big Short, Steve Carell, The Big Short, and Matt Damon, The Martian. Okay, this is pretty obvious what's going to get it. As good as Steve Carell and Christian Bale might be, Matt Damon is going to get this without a doubt. I mean, he made the movie. He's the thing that made that movie so, so great. Look, I already knew Matt Damon could act, okay? I knew that going into it. I did not know he was nearly as hilarious as he was in that movie. That is the thing that's so great about Matt Damon here, is that we've already seen Matt Damon be a badass. We've seen him give very emotional performances. We haven't really seen his comedy. We haven't seen it like we have in The Martian, and that's the thing that made it so great, was the snark that Mark Watney had, the positivity he had, just everything about that character is so fascinating, and it's all because of Damon's performance. So without a doubt, Matt Damon, I think, is going to win. Caden, I think, agrees with me. I think this is kind of a no-brainer. And I don't think anyone else should win, honestly. I think everyone else in the category, they're fine. But Matt Damon, without a doubt, is just elevates completely over everyone. I think definitely deserves to win. If he doesn't win, I'm going to be very, very surprised. The only other person I think could possibly win is Christian Bale in The Big Short, but I think it's going to go to Matt Damon. If it doesn't go to him, I will be very surprised. And definitely, I think he is most likely going to get this. Okay. So, Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role in any motion picture, which is pretty big. We have some really good nominations here, definitely, and there are a lot of possibilities here. So we have Kate Winslet for Steve Jobs, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Hateful Eight, Helen Mirren, Trumbo, Jane Fonda, Youth, and Alicia Vikander, Ex Machina. Again, this is another one where I really don't know, guys. There are a lot of great possibilities here. Jennifer Jason Leigh was so great in The Hateful Eight, mainly because if you watch her in Anomalisa, that's how Jennifer Jason Leigh actually is. Like, that's how she actually sounds. Then you see her in The Hateful Eight, she completely transformed to Daisy Domergue. I mean, she completely transformed to it. That's one of the things that made The Hateful Eight so great, was because the entire cast got into their roles. Helen Mirren was great for what she had in Trumbo. I don't think she's going to get it, though. That is the one where I'm like, she's probably not going to get it. Kate Winslet was really great in Steve Jobs. She was not the best thing about the movie. I don't think she's going to get it either. I think it's a toss-up between Jane Fonda, who was fantastic for the one scene she had in Youth. That's what she's nominated for. One scene, guys. I need you guys to remember that. Actually, no, 2 scenes she's nominated for, which is still incredible. But the reason is because she's one of the best things about the movie, without a doubt. I mean, her character in the movie, what they build her up, what they make her, I'm not going to spoil anything, but what they build her up as is not what she actually is, and it makes her character so much more interesting, and I love that. And in many ways, she is a supporting character because, of course, they talk about her throughout the movie. But without a doubt, the one that I think should personally get it is Alicia Vikander for Ex Machina. I mean, no one knew who Alicia Vikander was till Ex Machina came out. Sure, there was a movie called Seventh Son, which was her debut. But Ex Machina was the first I heard of her, and she just blew me away with this movie. I mean, she completely transforms into the character of Ava, and it just shows how great of an actress she can be. The reason I don't think she deserves it for the Danish Girl is because of how great she was in Ex Machina. I mean, she was just incredible in this movie. Every emotion feels genuine. You care about this robot. You don't know if this robot is good or bad, but you don't care because she's such a layered character with genuine human emotions, and she really just portrayed all of it perfectly. She did a great job I definitely think that she has a good chance of winning. But then there's also Jennifer Jason Leigh, who I also think really does deserve it for what she had to do in The Hateful Eight. Not easy to completely transform that character the way she did, but she really got into it. And then Jane Fonda as well, I think, is definitely a toss-up. What do you think? Who do you think is going to win here, Caden?
Either Jennifer Jason Leigh or Alicia Vikander.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Alicia Vikander most likely should win, but I kind of feel like it's going to go to Jennifer Jason Leigh. I just feel like they might go that way. But for me personally, I do think Alicia Vikander most likely should win because let's face it, if she was not as great in that movie, the movie would not have been as good. So I definitely feel that she definitely should get it. Okay. So best performance by an actor in any motion picture. Caden can actually talk about this because he's seen most of these movies. So he can actually comment on this one. We have Michael Shannon, 99.
I've been wanting to comment on every single category so far, but you're not letting me talk.
No, I did. I said, like, how do you feel about this one? You've said pretty much what you said.
I know, but, like, you won't let me say anything.
Well, like, you can talk, like, when you want to. I don't care. But for this one, you might actually have some stuff to say, though. Now, this one I was very, very happy about, I have to say. There definitely, by the way, there definitely are some snubs in, like, the best actor category, but I'm not really going to get into that. Best performance by an actor in any supporting role in any motion picture. We have Michael Shannon, 99 Homes, which is the only one on this list I have not seen. I don't think he's going to get it. Idris Elba for Beast of No Nation. The reason I say is because, let's face it, Abraham Attah is the person that should be nominated for Beast of No Nation. He carries that movie. He's one of the best characters of the year, and it pisses me off that he wasn't nominated. Mark Rylance, Bridge of Spies. Yes, definitely he deserves to be nominated. Sylvester Stallone, Creed, and Paul Dano, Love and Mercy. I freaked out when I saw Paul Dano's name on there. You guys know I loved Love and Mercy. So just the fact that it's actually getting nominated for something that's actually being recognized is incredible. I'm so happy it is. And but I think this is pretty much a no-brainer. Although I kind of feel like this is a toss-up personally, and you might not agree with me, Caden, but for me personally, I think this is a toss-up between Stallone and Rylance. I think both these performances completely, they're the best two performances. You know, Mark Rylance is the best thing about Bridge of Spies. And while Tom Hanks is great in Bridge of Spies, Mark Rylance really is the standout. I mean, he really was fantastic. And then Creed, of course, we knew Sylvester Stallone was going to be great, but not the way he was in Creed. He was completely different as Rocky. This is a whole new Rocky. That's the thing that made him so great. I know people are like, well, he doesn't really have a freak out scene. You don't need that to be nominated. The reason he did such a great job is because of the fact that Sylvester Stallone has not played this side of Rocky before. Rocky's not confident. You know, he's facing a lot and he's dealing with a lot. And he really portrayed this Rocky perfectly. This didn't just feel like old man Rocky, you know, who has a cane and is still a badass. You know, this wasn't like A Good Day to Die Hard or anything like that, which let's not mention that movie. But Sylvester Stallone perfectly portrayed this character. He did it, you know, he got right back into it, and he made this character something new. And me personally, I think he should definitely win because of that. But Mark Rylance, I think, is just as deserving. And Caden, what do you have to say about this?
Everything you already said.
Well, go on, because you said you wanted to chime in more.
I know, but you're already saying everything I'm saying.
Okay, whatever. So, like I said, I think Sylvester Stallone should win, but Mark Rylance, I think, is most likely. You know, I think Sylvester Stallone is going to win. I think he should win. But Mark Rylance, like I said, if he wins, I think he's just as deserving. Definitely, he's just deserving. Paul Dano as well. He's not going to win, but he was incredible in Love and Mercy for what he did. Like I said, Love and Mercy is truly like no other biopic I've seen before in terms of music biopic. I mean, just what they do with the character is incredible, and I don't want to spoil it, but it's very psychological. And between John Cusack and Paul Dano, I think Paul Dano definitely deserves it over John Cusack. He was incredible. All right, Best Director. Again, this is a bit of a toss-up here. There are a lot of nominations. You got some very well-known directors, but then you have some very small ones. And this one, Kane, I'm going to have you talk a little bit more about because I think we both have stuff to say about this one. You got Todd Haynes for Carol, George Miller for Mad Max Fury Road, Tom McCarthy Spotlight, Ridley Scott The Martian, Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu for The Revenant. Now, because I'm always talking first, Kane, I'm going to let you go first. What do you have to say about this?
Thank you, you motherfucker. Okay. Well, first of all, if we're going to talk about who it should win, and I think will win. It's George Miller. Because George Miller, first of all, had fantastic filmmaking in that movie. It felt gritty and it felt real. And just the way that he crafted and handled Mad Max Fury Road was amazing. And I think directing wise, he brought his style to that movie, and he really brought what he needed to that movie. I think he's gonna win, and he should win. Honestly, while all the other nominations are fantastic, I really think that George Miller is gonna get it for Mad Max Fury Road.
All right. So me personally, I would agree with you on that standpoint, but here's the thing with me and The Revenant. I mean, when I look at The Revenant, the thing that I think it deserves the most is the directing. Many people have said this, and I've agreed before. The Revenant would not be as good if Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu would not have been the director, because what he wanted to do with this movie is like, I'm not going to be like Birdman. I'm not going to do what I did with Birdman. I'm not going to, try to make this a fun movie. I'm going to make this the complete opposite, show how versatile I am, and that's exactly what he did with The Revenant. It's such an incredible film because of the way it was constructed, because of his vision. I mean, I've never really seen a movie like this before, and it's mainly because of the fact of Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu's direction, and I really feel he definitely deserves it. But like you said with George Miller, I mean, let's face it, if George Miller had not come back to Mad Max Fury Road, it probably would have sucked, honestly. I think George Miller was the one that he knew his vision. He knew what he wanted to do with these movies. He was the one that started the franchise. You should let him come back as director. You shouldn't replace him, because nobody else can really do this story but George Miller. He had the vision. He knew what he wanted to do, and I think that's another reason why Mad Max Fury Road was so great. And then there's Ridley Scott, of course, and everyone's been talking about this. Ridley Scott, I don't think has ever won Best Director. Most people have said, I don't think has he won?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think he's ever won, and that's the
thing. He's been nominated, obviously, but
yeah, he's been nominated, but I don't think Ridley Scott has ever won for Best Director. And a lot of people are saying this could be the year that he wins. And honestly, he does deserve it, because again, just like Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu and George Miller, Iñárritu, however you pronounce it, and George Miller, he tried to go in a different direction. He didn't try to do Alien 4. He didn't try to do Gladiator 2. He tried to do something completely different than we've ever seen, and that's one of the reasons the movie turned out so good. So it's really a toss-up here, I think, between these three. Any three of these directors definitely deserve it. And yes, Tom McCarthy was great for Spotlight, and Todd Haynes was great for Carol, but these three are really the standouts, I feel, and if they don't deserve it, if they don't win, I'm going to be very shocked. If any of these three directors win, I will be completely fine with that, and definitely, I feel any three of them definitely deserve to win. So Best Directing, that's personally how I feel about this. I don't know, where the hell Caden went? Are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, good. He's still there. So now we're going to get to one of my favorite categories, definitely, because without this, category, without these nominations, these movies would not be as great. And really, there's some of the best things about the movie. I mean, the dialogue is really something you need to focus on. Best screenplay is, in my opinion, I think one of the most important categories of any awards show, in my opinion, because you need the dialogue to elevate your movie. And all the movies that are nominated have great screenplays here, but I'll talk about the one that I feel deserves it the most. We have Emma Donoghue for Room, Tom McCarthy, Josh Singer for Spotlight, Aaron Sorkin for Steve Jobs, Charles Randolph and Adam McKay for The Big Short, and Quentin Tarantino for The Hateful Eight. Now, I'm going to talk about the one that I think is not going to get it. Without a doubt, no matter what happens, I don't think The Big Short is taking anything. I'm going to say that right now. The Big Short is going to be the one movie that both Golden Globes and Oscars takes nothing. I don't think it's taking anything. I don't care, because I still do want to check it out before the Oscars come out, just in case it gets nominated for anything. I want to see if it does really deserve it. But I don't really think it's going to take anything. I'm going to say that right now. Me personally, I think this is a toss-up between Aaron Sorkin, Quentin Tarantino, and Tom McCarthy. I think these three. The thing that makes, okay, let's first talk about Spotlight, because Spotlight's a movie that could just be very just like hit or miss. It could just be a movie that's just like, oh, we got to get all these facts, and it's not very memorable. But the thing that makes Spotlight so great is the screenplay. I've said it before. They're not trying to get you to care to sympathize with any character. There's no like, oh, you should agree with this character or disagree. It's all just seeing the facts. It's seeing it play out. And that's one of the things that made it so great. It's a fact-based story. And the way that he was able to tell this story through dialogue without any, you know, action scenes whatsoever was incredible. He did a great job with that. Of course, I got the poster right there. And Spotlight definitely, I think, has a good chance. Quentin Tarantino, I mean, his dialogue alone is a reason to win. I think, Caden, you will definitely agree that his dialogue is just some of the best of all time. I mean, just any...
You know, I haven't seen a single Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah, but still, his dialogue is just it's genius. It really is. I don't know how he comes up with the dialogue he does, and I don't really say that a lot. But with Quentin Tarantino, I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he makes this dialogue fit in a movie that takes place in the 1800s. I don't know how he did it, but he did it perfectly. However, Aaron Sorkin is credited to be maybe the greatest screenwriter working today. Most people say he is. Steve Jobs, he definitely deserves that because the dialogue was so investing and the screenplay was so interesting. They could have easily made this like Jobs, you know, just tell you Steve Jobs' life and death, but that's not what they did. They did 3 events while also basically telling you all you need to know about Steve Jobs in the movie. I mean, I know you haven't seen Caden, but they really do
Well, first of all, let me tell you one thing. They do not talk about Steve Jobs' death and Jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
I know, I heard that movie sucks though, but anyway.
I've seen it, it's okay.
Yeah. I've seen like parts of it. It wasn't good. I didn't like what I saw of it. But Steve Jobs, I think definitely the thing that elevates that movie so great is the screenplay. As great as Michael Fassbender is, if the screenplay wouldn't have been as good, I don't think the movie would have gone as good because Danny Boyle and Aaron Sorkin, they go hand in hand, and definitely I think that deserves to get it. What do you think, Kane? I want to hear your thoughts on this.
It's Aaron Sorkin or Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, one of those two are going to get it. I don't know who's going to get this. I think both of them very much deserve. The Hateful Eight, of course, is my favorite movie 2015, but Steve Jobs, I think, is still probably my favorite screenplay of the year. I can't really figure out. I think it's really a toss-up between those two. Room's great, okay? Room's great, but it's based off a book. So that's why I'm not really going to talk about Room. It's based off a book. Yes, they might have changed some things from the movie, but it is based off a book, so it's not necessarily original. Big Short, I don't think is going to get anything, like I said. Spotlight's very good, but I think it really is a toss between Aaron Sorkin and Quentin Tarantino. Either of them really do deserve it, and definitely either of them should get it. Okay, now we get to what I think is actually one of the most competitive categories right now because most of these movies, one of them does not deserve it, but most of these movies really do deserve to take the nomination of Best Motion Picture Animated. 4 of these deserve it. One of them, you know how I feel. One of them, I think one of these elevates over all the other movies. I don't care how great some of them are. One of them definitely elevates. But here are nominations for Best Motion Picture. And some of these are no-brainer. Inside Out, Shaun the Sheep movie, The Good Dinosaur.
Yay! My favorite movie of the year.
No. That was Inside Out.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The Peanuts movie and Anomalisa. Okay, I'm sorry, got that out of the way. I gotta support Anomalisa.
No, A Good Dinosaur. It was so original, and it was not boring at all. And
okay,
yeah.
Let's talk about The Good Dinosaur for a second because that's the one where I look at it and I'm like, I understand it's Pixar, but I don't really feel it deserves to be nominated. I don't see it as a Pixar
movie. It's the worst animated movie of 2015.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Well, actually, no. I'd say no, without a doubt. Medea's Tough Love is, but, you know.
Well, I mean, theatrical-wise, Kevin.
Home, Caden, home. Minions. Yeah, you say Minions, Caden like shuts down. But anyway, Good Dinosaur is not a bad movie, but it just isn't memorable at all, and I will never watch it again, and I really feel it does not deserve to be nominated. And because that these other 4 movies completely just overlook, it's mainly because the other 4 movies here are just so great. Shaun the Sheep movie definitely deserves to be nominated because of how different it is, because the fact that it feels like a throwback to silent films. I've said it before, but it really does feel that way. I don't know where the hell Caden went, but It really does feel like a throwback to silent films. The Peanuts movie, I mean, just the fact we can say there's a Peanuts movie in 2015 is incredible. It was a really great movie. I definitely really did love it. Is it the best? Is it as great as the other three? No, but I definitely love the Peanuts movie. For me, guys, without a doubt, though, this is definitely a toss-up between Inside Out and Anomalisa. I mean, I have not seen two animated movies that were deeper, that went more into someone's head, went more into, someone's psychosis than these two movies did. And in many ways, these movies are similar. I've heard people say Anomalisa is just a grown-up version of Inside Out, and I kind of would agree with that. In many ways, they're very similar. Inside Out is really a girl dealing with all of her emotions in her head and learning how to balance it out and just letting that sadness come out, definitely. While Anomalisa is really about making connections. And without a doubt, I want Anomalisa to win, definitely. But if Inside Out were to win, I would not be upset. I would not be upset if Inside Out won. Anomalisa,
I wouldn't be upset.
I would not be upset if Inside Out won. I think Anomalisa definitely does deserve to get it, but if Inside Out got it, I think it's just as deserving. Because Inside Out, while it's a kid's movie, a lot of the things kids can't really understand. I mean, little kids, I'm saying. Older kids can understand.
Not a kids movie. Okay, yeah.
I know, but it's a Pixar movie, while Anomalisa is like strictly for adults. And in many ways,
it has a sex scene in it, Kevin, okay?
well, and it's also just very, very adult. It's not like your typical, like I said, Anomalisa is the exact definition of an anime movie that does not feel like an anime movie. Inside Out does feel like an anime movie, and that's one of the reasons it's so great, because it's one that, in my opinion, the best anime movies ever made. I think it really is. Both of these movies are incredible. I think either one of them deserve it. And Caden, what do you think is going to happen here in terms of animated movies?
What's gonna happen?
What's going to win?
Anomalisa definitely, I think, could win, but I think Inside Out's honestly gonna take it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Inside Out is going to take it. It's just, I'm glad Anomalisa at least got some love, because it definitely deserves it. I think if it were to win, I would be obviously shocked in my mind and be like, fuck yeah, it won. But Inside Out as well, I will be cheering. When Inside Out wins, I will be cheering, definitely.
I will especially be cheering.
Definitely. I love Inside Out. I think it's one of Pixar's best movies, honestly. It's probably
like movie in 2015.
It's probably my third or fourth favorite Pixar movie of all time. I absolutely love Inside Out, and I definitely feel that it does deserve to win if it does get it. So either one of these I'm fine with. Anomalisa, obviously, like I said, I just love more. So it's very hard to come between that and another movie. It's just, I love Anomalisa so much and think it's so different. And Inside Out, yes, is different, but Anomalisa, I definitely feel does deserve that. Now, Best Motion Picture, Foreign Language, I can't really say anything about, because I didn't see any foreign movies, so I can't say anything about it. I think Son of Saul is going to take it. I'm just going to say that. That's really all I have to say.
Yeah.
Son of Saul, I think, is going to be the one to take it. I've seen like 2 foreign movies, Goodnight Mommy, and then I don't know what was the other one I saw? Victoria. Yeah, I saw those 2. But I didn't see these other movies, so I can't really comment on them. Caden hasn't seen them either, so he can't really say anything. And I'm sure they deserve to be nominated. I'm sure they're great. I just didn't get a chance to watch them, so I can't really say anything about that category. Sorry, guys. Then we get to a category that I feel really has no competition, in my opinion at least. I feel this category has no competition. A lot of these categories do. This one is no competition, in my opinion at least. Best Original Score, we have Carter Burwell for Carol, which, yes, his score is great for that movie. Daniel Pemberton for Steve Jobs. Alexandre Desplat for The Danish Girl. Ennio Morricone for The Hateful Eight. And Ryuki Sakamoto and Alva Noto for The Revenant. Now, let's talk about 2 things first. Let's first talk about Alexandre Desplat for The Danish Girl. I don't remember that score. I don't know what that score sounded like. I don't remember it. Therefore, I'm not going to even talk about it because I don't remember it. The Revenant. The score is barely used in that movie. So, yeah, that is a good reason for it to be nominated. The fact that the score is only used when it needs to be. And I don't know if you know this, Caden, but a lot of the movie is done in complete silence. I don't know if you know this, but a very large portion of the movie barely has, and not just any dialogue, but no music. It's very well handled the way they do that, and that's one of the things that makes it so great. But again, the score I didn't really feel was all that memorable. It's not the most memorable thing about that movie. The most memorable thing is the directing and Leo DiCaprio's performance. That's the most memorable thing. Steve Jobs had a great score, as did Carol. But without a doubt, the score that I go, first of all, why did they, who did the score for Mad Max Fury Road?
Junkie XL.
Why did he not get nominated for that? I can't believe he didn't. I don't understand why he didn't get nominated. One of the best scores without a doubt. Carter Burwell's score for Carol is great. It's heartbreaking. It's beautiful. I love it. But without a doubt, when I go back on scores, the one I listen to the most and the one that I will say, if I were to listen to, here's how I judge a score in a movie. You listen to a score and you're like, oh, that's from that movie. That's how I know it's a great score. The one for me that is the best score is The Hateful Eight. Without a doubt, The Hateful Eight has an amazing score that I absolutely love. You know, that da 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 da. Like, that's so catchy. I listen to it all the time, and I constantly find myself whistling it. It's such a catchy score. It perfectly goes in the movie. The score is incredible. I loved it. It elevated the tension so well. It gave you that vintage feel, and in my opinion, I definitely feel it should win. Now, Caden can't really comment on this because he hasn't really seen any of these movies, so he can't really say if the score was good or not, so I'm just going to say that for me personally, I think The Hateful Eight should get it. And I really feel there's no competition. I think The Hateful Eight most likely is going to get this because I love the score in Carol. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love Carter Burwell's score. I think he did an incredible score of that movie. And the score in Steve Jobs is very good as well. But The Hateful Eight is a score that I keep going back to and be like, oh, I know what that is. And that's really how it goes with me for Best Original Score. So for me, without a doubt, I think The Hateful Eight definitely deserves to win. Do you have anything to say about that, Caden?
No, not really. I agree.
All right. So now we have a category that I think is pretty obvious what's going to win, but there are a lot of possible options for this one. Best Original Song. Now, every single one of these songs is great, okay? Even the one that, like, is kind of stupid that's nominated, it's still great. We have Love Me Like You Do, 50 Shades of Grey. Love Me Like You Do. We have See You Again, Furious 7. We have One Kind of Love, Love and Mercy, which is incredible. I went back and listened to that. That is a great song. Writings on the Wall, Spectre, which I'm so happy that got nominated. But, of course, then we have Simple Song number 3. You guys know which one I want to win. You guys know I want Simple Song number 3 to win. It's probably not going to win, though. I don't think Simple Song number 3, unfortunately, is going to win, which is unfortunate because, like I said, it's the perfect way to end that movie. And the whole movie, you know, one of the big parts of the movie is he going to compose this score? Are we going to get to hear the score? And I am going to say that we do get to hear the score. I'm not going to say how, but we do get to hear it. And it's incredible. It sounds perfect. It sounds beautiful. It represents the movie very well. Look at the lyrics. It, like, very well symbolize what the movie's trying to say, which I really love. Writings on the Wall, though, in my opinion, I think is just as strong as Skyfall, if not better. I kind of like it more than Skyfall, honestly. I think it's a great song. I love it. I think it really brings back, like, the old Bond. Like, it sounds like old Bond. I think Sam Smith did a great job with that song. I absolutely love it. I don't care that it's a romantic song. I think it's perfect for that movie. I haven't seen Spectre, but I think it's perfect for that. I'm going to watch it eventually. Don't worry. I got the Daniel Craig collection for Christmas, so I'll probably just watch all those films in the summertime. But One Kind of Love, Love and Mercy is a fantastic song. I love that song. I love the fact that Brian Wilson wrote his own song for the movie. He did a great job with that. But I really think See You Again is going to be the one to win this. I mean, Vin Diesel said he wants Furious 7 to get some sort of Oscar love. And if anything, it's going to win Best Song because that's the most memorable thing about that movie, okay? Tyrese Gibson, yeah, he's great. And there are a lot of fun scenes in that movie, but See You Again is one of the best scenes of last year, in my opinion. I mean, just the way they handled the tribute to Paul Walker, the way they did all that was perfect. And without any of that, the movie would not have been, I think, as great. See You Again really is the best thing about Furious 7, and really, I think, tells the story of Paul Walker very well, and without a doubt, I think should win. Love Me Like You Do, on the other hand, is just a fun song, okay? It's not going to win. Let's face it. It's not going to win. The only reason I think it was nominated is because they need another song to be nominated, okay? It's a fine song.
They could have earned it.
What?
They could have done earned it.
That song kind of sucks, though, but anyway.
Yeah.
See You Again, I think, is definitely going to get it. Unfortunately, Simple Song number 3, I think, is going to be snubbed. If it did get it, I would be extremely happy if it did. I know that they probably will perform all of these songs at the Oscars because they always do that, but See You Again, like I said, I think is definitely the one that deserves it. I think definitely should get it, and I wouldn't be surprised if it went home with it because definitely does deserve that award. So those are all the nominations for movies. Actually, that's actually it. So if Caden, you want to get out of here, you can. If you want to say anything else.
Well, thank you for not letting me talk most of the time, but it was fun. Have
I'm
fun
gonna see.
talking. Have fun talking TV, and
I'm gonna see if there's any other stuff to talk about. I don't really think. No, there's no cinematography. There's no editing. There's nothing like that. That's Oscars.
I'd have fun ranting about how the leftovers it was snubbed for a lot of things.
But overall, guys, that's it for Caden's portion of this. Now we're going to get into the TV stuff, which, of course, Caden doesn't care nearly as much about. And it's not that he doesn't like TV. It's just he hasn't really watched a lot of these shows, and he doesn't really have much to comment on. So I'm not going to have him, like, come in here and have him say nothing, because I think that's kind of
Thank you!
to do that. You know, if you guys saw the fall preview for last year, he really wasn't into it. So I just said, okay, you can stay for the movies, but TV, you don't have to. So let's just get into this. Again, just like movies, I was very happy with what was nominated for the most part. Yes, The Leftovers was snubbed. Am I upset? Yeah, but I'm not surprised. It's not a show for everyone. It really is. One of the reasons I think The Leftovers is so great is because it's not for everyone. Tom Perrotta and Damian Lindelof, they don't care what you think of the show. They don't want us. I don't think they're the kind of, actors that like, oh, we're trying to make an Emmy award-winning TV show. That's not why The Leftovers is so great. That's one of the reasons The Leftovers is so great is because they don't care what you think of it. Like I've said this before, and it really is true. They don't care what you think of it. And that's one of the reasons I think it is so great. But unfortunately, like I said, it was snubbed for almost everything. It got nominated for nothing. It really didn't. And the only thing I think it's actually got nominated for, I think, is Critics' Choice Awards. That is the only thing I think it got nominated for, which kind of sucks. But regardless of that, everything else got nominated, I think, really does deserve for the most part. There are a few I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you nominate that? But let's just get into it. Of course, just like best, the movies, we are going to talk about the big one first, because I'm sure a lot of people want to talk about this. I was quite surprised with the nominations for best drama. I really was. I mean, a lot of the things I thought was going to be nominated weren't nominated, and I'm happy that was, because it's not predictable. It really isn't. I mean, there are a lot of possibilities that could happen in this category, and I really do love that. So for best television series drama, I know you guys want me to talk about this. We actually have mostly new shows here. I mean, we only have one recurring show. All the other shows are new. They premiered in 2015, which I think is incredible. So, well, Outlander premiered in 2014, but still, that was season 1. So we have Game of Thrones, Mr. Robot, Narcos, Outlander, and Empire. Oh, Empire. Empire, I think, is nominated for season 1. Most people agree season 2 has not been good. You guys are wondering where Empire is. I'm just done with that show. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I think it's a dumb show, really. I think it's gone really stupid, actually. So that's why I don't really talk about Empire as much anymore, because I don't really care too much about it, I have to say. But let's talk about these nominations, because there's some really great nominations here. I mean, I am so happy that Mr. Robot got nominated. I cannot tell you how happy I am they got nominated. Outlander, oh my God, I can't believe they did. The one I think is not getting anything is Narcos. Narcos, as good as a show as it might be, I don't think is getting anything. I think Narcos, we can completely just single out. Empire as well, as good as it may be. Because, yeah, season 1 was quite good. I really love season 1. And I really like the beginning of season 2. It's just, after some of the stuff happened, especially after Lucius got out of jail, the show got very boring. But ever since, that, they've been on this constant just, downward spiral. The two that I think have the most chances are Outlander and Mr. Robot. I've heard multiple people flip-flop between these two, say, oh, it's going to be Mr. Robot. No, it's going to be Outlander. Most people at this point are saying it's going to be Outlander, and I would be fine if Outlander gets that. Honestly, I would be completely fine if Outlander gets it. I think it's a fantastic show. I think it definitely deserves to be nominated. I definitely think it deserves to win if it does, because it has some fantastic elements to it and definitely deserves that. But as a show, out of these 5 shows, Mr. Robot, without a doubt, I feel is the one that deserves it. I mean, I've never seen a show like Mr. Robot. I really haven't. I mean, yeah, The Leftovers is great in that sense. I've never seen it. But Mr. Robot really, I think, is just such an incredible show. And the fact that it tricked you. I think it's going to be this one kind of show, and it's not. And that's one of the reasons why Mr. Robot was so great. That's one of the reasons I loved it as much as I did. And I definitely feel like because of that, it definitely deserves to win. I don't know why my camera's so blurry right now, guys. Try to ignore that. But I definitely feel, like I said, I think Mr. Robot definitely deserves the chance. I think definitely deserves to win the most out of all of these. I definitely think it should win. I mean, everything about it is fantastic. In my opinion, I think it's a masterpiece of a show. I love Mr. Robot, and I am very happy that it got nominated. But like I said, Game of Thrones, I don't think is going to win. I think that's going to be the other one that's singled out here. But Outlander and Mr. Robot, I think it's a toss-up between these two, definitely. Either one of them, I think, has a very good chance of winning. This is the first year that Mad Men is not nominated. This is also the first year House of Cards is not nominated. I'm quite surprised at what was nominated here, but I'm glad they're trying to get new nominations because there are great shows out there. You need to show them off and recognize them and show how great they are, and they really did that here, and I'm very happy they did do that, and that's why I feel Mr. Robot or Outlander are probably going to be the ones to win. So then we get to Best Television Series, Musical, or Comedy, which I can't really comment on because I haven't seen most of these shows. Casual, I started watching. I never finished it. I'm going to finish it eventually. I don't know when. Mozart in the Jungle, I haven't seen. Orange is the New Black is the only one I've seen here. But without a doubt, this is going to Transparent. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I've seen episodes of Transparent. Phenomenal show from what I've seen. Absolutely phenomenal show. I'd love to watch it at some point. I can't watch it right now because I just can't catch up on it. I don't have time. That's why. If I could, I would watch it definitely, but I don't have time to finish it. That's why I didn't review season 2. That's why I didn't review season 1 either. And that's just because I haven't had the time. So when season 3 comes out, most likely I will be reviewing it and watching it. But right now, at least, I don't really have the time to do that. But overall, guys, I think Transparent is going to get it. There really is no competition there, and I definitely feel that's the one that's going to win. For Best Television Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television, we have American Crime, American Horror Story, Hotel, Fargo, Flesh and Bone, and Wolf Hall. Flesh and Bone surprisingly got in there. I can't believe that Flesh and Bone actually got in there, but I don't think that show's getting anything. I mean, nobody really watched it. It wasn't a huge success critically. It did have some very good elements to it, but Flesh and Bone, I think, is the perfect example of a show that just got way too good and ended way too soon. I mean, it got really, really good towards the end, but then it ended, and we'll never hear from the show again. So that kind of sucks, but without a doubt, Fargo is the one that deserves to win. I mean, I am so impressed by Fargo. It's such a different kind of show. It, in my opinion, is the only show that is able to handle an anthology series correctly. American Horror Story, I'm just done with it. I think it's stupid. I think its entire season has been bullshit, and nothing about it deserves to win. If anything with American Horror Story wins tonight, I'm going to be very upset, honestly. I'll be very upset if that happens. American Crime, I saw one episode of season 1, and then, of course, I'm watching season 2, but I can't really say much about that. Fargo, I think, is going to get us. I'll be very surprised if it doesn't, and I definitely feel it should win. Definitely, it is an incredible show and definitely deserves to be nominated. So Best Performance by an Actress in a Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television, we have Lady Gaga, American Horror Story, Hotel, Queen Latifah, Bessie, Kirsten Dunst, Fargo, Sarah Hay, Flesh and Bone, and Felicity Hoffman, American Crime. Now, Lady Gaga, why is she nominated? I don't know, because they want to replace her for Jessica Lange's nomination. I don't know why she's nominated. There's no reason for her to be nominated. She shouldn't be nominated. She's not good in this show. And, you know, I've watched back some episodes. I still don't think that she's good. I think she's a pretty shitty actress, and I think that she was just horribly miscasted on the show. I don't think she should have ever been in it, honestly. I think she's just really bad overall. Definitely am not a fan of Lady Gaga on the show. But without a doubt, Kirsten Dunst is the one that needs to win here. I mean, Peggy Blomquist, I think, is one of the best Fargo characters we've ever had. She's incredible. She did an amazing job, and many have said it is the best performance Kirsten Dunst has ever given, and I really do stick with that. I mean, just what she had to do, she completely transformed this role. She owned every minute of the role. She stole so many scenes from everyone, and that's really one of the reasons why I think she deserves to be nominated. You also sympathized with her character. You cared about her. She did a great job of portraying that. She was so funny as well. I mean, Peggy was so funny. Sarah Hay was by far the best thing about Flesh and Bone. She was a great actress. I really did love her character. Also very hot, but that's not enough for a reason to win. I don't think you should win over attraction. This is not something you win over attraction for. But Kirsten Dunst, I think, did a great job in the role. She definitely deserves to win, and I think she definitely should win. I don't really think it's a competition here. I think she should win, and I don't think there really is any other contest. I think she is going to win. I'll be very surprised if she doesn't. So best performance by an actor in a limited series or motion picture, we have Patrick Wilson, Fargo, Idris Elba, Luther, which is the last time he'll ever be nominated because Luther just ended. It did have 2 episodes, but it'll be the last time he's ever nominated. David Oyelowo, Nightingale, Oscar Isaac, Show Me a Hero, and Mark Rylance, Wolf Hall. Patrick Wilson, of course, was great in Fargo. He did a great job. I really did love his character. I think this is going to go to Oscar Isaac, though. I heard he was incredible in Show Me a Hero. I think he's probably going to want to get it. And the only reason I'm going to say that is because I haven't seen any of these other things. So I can only really talk about Patrick Wilson because I haven't seen Wolf Hall. I haven't seen Show Me a Hero. I didn't see Nightingale. I want to check these things. I just didn't have the time to. So I can't really talk about them. Luther, I wanted to watch it again, didn't really get a chance to watch it, but I think Patrick Wilson definitely deserves to be nominated, but I think it's probably going to go to Oscar Isaac for Show Me a Hero. I think he definitely does deserve it. I mean, I saw what he did. I saw his portrayal alone. Definitely he does deserve it, and I think he definitely did a very good job there. So definitely if he got it, I would not be upset. So best performance by an actress in a television series drama. We have some really good nominations here. Taraji P. Henson, Empire, which, yes, she's still the best thing about that show. Even though that show sucks now, she's still great. Robin Wright, House of Cards. Viola Davis, How to Get Away with Murder. Katrina Balfe, Outlander. And Eva Green, Penny Dreadful. I freaked out when I saw Eva Green. I can't believe Penny Dreadful actually got some recognition. I mean, I wanted to get the nomination last year. She should have, but finally she's got nominated, and I really hope that means that she will be nominated for the Emmys this year because she definitely deserves it. Katrina Balfe is great in Outlander, okay? She's great as Claire. I love the character of Claire. Eva Green is great as Vanessa, but Viola Davis won the Emmy, so I'm pretty sure it's going to go to Viola Davis. I would not be surprised if it does, but I would be very, very happy. In my opinion, I think Eva Green's the one that deserves this the most. I mean, she's been incredible in Penny Dreadful. She really has made a lot of that show. And yeah, I think Billie Piper definitely deserves it over her, and I think she should be nominated for Best Supporting Actress, which she's not. But I think definitely Viola Davis should get it. I think she is going to get it, and I think she's probably going to be the one to get it. So best performance by an actor in a television series. Again, some very good nominations here. Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul. John Hamm, Mad Men. Rami Malek for Mr. Robot. Wagner Moura for Narcos. And Liev Schreiber for Ray Donovan. Of course, I don't watch Narcos or Ray Donovan, so I can't really comment on it. Rami Malek, though, deserves every nomination he should get. He's one of the best actors, in my opinion, and just everything he did on Mr. Robot was incredible. The way that he, the narrations, the facial expressions, though, I mean, we all remember the scene in episode 6, which is a one-take scene. It goes on for like a minute before we actually know what's going on. That entire scene, there's no music playing. It all relies on Elliot's emotions, and Malik just portrays that character perfectly. He got into the role perfectly, and the thing is, I never knew who Rami Malek was until I saw that role. That is when you know you have an amazing actor. When you have a debut actor who you just see him as that actor, that is who he's going to be remembered for all of his life. All of his life, he's going to be remembered as Elliot Alderson because he just perfectly portrays that role. I think he's great. This is the last time that John Hamm will ever be nominated for Mad Men, and I think he definitely deserves it. He did a great job as his character, Don Draper, but come on, please change it up to Rami Malek. Okay, Bob Odenkirk is great in Better Call Saul, but Rami Malek, please, I would be so happy if he got it. I think he definitely deserves it, and I think he definitely should get it because he really is incredible. Definitely, he deserves to be nominated. So best performance by an actress in a television series. Again, some very great surprises, some not good surprises, but I really was very impressed with this category. Rachel Bloom for Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Lily Tomlin for Grace and Frankie. Gina Rodriguez, Jane the Virgin. Jamie Lee Curtis, Scream Queens. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus for Veep. Why was Jamie Lee Curtis nominated for Scream Queens? Out of everyone you could have nominated, why Jamie Lee Curtis? Emma Roberts should have been nominated. Leah Michele, I mean, why Jamie Lee Curtis? She's like one of the weakest links in my opinion. Okay, was she funny at points? Yeah, but I still don't really like the character of Dean Munch. I never liked the character, and I'm not going to start to now. I think definitely Rachel Bloom or Gina Rodriguez are the ones that definitely deserve to get this because both Crazy Ex-Girlfriend and Jane the Virgin would not be as good without these two actresses. Rachel Bloom is perfect in the role as Rebecca Bunch, and then Gina Rodriguez is perfect as Jane Villanueva. You know, they're great in these roles. They both really have committed so well. They're both so funny, and I think Gina Rodriguez most likely is going to get this. I would not be surprised if she did. If Rachel Bloom got, though, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Gina Rodriguez most likely is going to be the one to get this, and I think she definitely does deserve it. She got the Emmy, I believe, and definitely she deserves to get this because she really is incredible in Jane the Virgin. She brings emotion. She brings the comedy. She really brings everything, and I think she really does an amazing job in Jane the Virgin, and I would be very happy if she got the win because she definitely deserves it. Best performance by an actor in a television series, we have Aziz Ansari for Master of None, Gail Garcia Bernal for Mozart in the Jungle, Rob Lowe for The Grinder, Jeffrey Tambor for Transparent, and Patrick Stewart for Blunt Talk. I think this is definitely going to go to Jeffrey Tambor for Transparent or Aziz Ansari for Master of None. I've seen 2 episodes of that, by the way. It's fantastic. I really do love it. I just didn't get a chance to catch up on it. I mean, I didn't get a chance to finish it. But overall, guys, you know, very good nominations here. I think Jeffrey Tambor very much has a very good chance to win, as is Aziz Ansari. All the nominations, I think, are quite good here. And I think any of them could really get it. So I want to hear your thoughts about that one. Then this one I was very happy about, definitely. Best performance by an actress in a supporting role. We have Regina King, American Crime, Joanne Froggatt, Downton Abbey, Uzo Aduba, Orange is the New Black, Maura Attorney for The Affair, and Judith Light for Transparent. First of all, let's get to the fact that The Affair got nominated for absolutely nothing but Maura Attorney. It just shows how different of a show it is. Maura Attorney is the best thing about that show. I mean, Helen's character is so great because of Maura Attorney. She portrays that character so well. She's without a doubt the best actress on that show, and she is absolutely fucking phenomenal in that role. She does a great job there. However, I'm pretty sure this is going to go to either Regina King or Uzo Aduba. Definitely one of those two are going to get it. Regina King is great, but again, Leftovers, it's too bad she didn't get nominated for that. I want to say that this is for her Leftovers nomination, but obviously it's not for that. Which kind of sucks, but Uzo Aduba obviously is great in Orange is the New Black. I don't think this was really her shining season. I think season 2 really was. Maura Attorney is the one that I think deserves to get it and should get it, so definitely Maura Attorney. I would love for her to get it. And then the final category we have, I know there's been a lot, guys, but this is the last one. We have Best Performance by an Actor in Anything. We have Ben Mendelsohn, Bloodline, Christian Slater, Mr. Robot, Tobias Menzies, Outlander, Alan Cumming, The Good Wife, and Damian Lewis, Wolf Hall. Okay. One of the first 3, I think, should be the one to get it. I mean, all 3 of them are great. Ben Mendelsohn is amazing in Bloodline. I'm so happy he got nominated. He was incredible in that show. But Christian Slater, let's just talk about this guy. He has been trying to get a hit show for years now, and he's been canceled and he canceled show after show after show. Finally, he has a show that not only is successful, not only got renewed for season 2 before it even started, he's now nominated for an Emmy. So that is enough of a reason for him to win. But just in general, his character, Mr. Robot, is great. He does a great job. But Tobias Menzies is so menacing on Outlander. You hate his character so much, and he perfectly portrays that role. And I think he does a great job at portraying the role that he did. And all 3 of these actors definitely deserve it. I would be very happy if any of them won because they all were fantastic. But overall, guys, that's it for my Golden Globes predictions. I know this was a very long video, but there was a lot to get through, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think are going to win the nominations. You know, what do you think is going to get, movies and TV-wise? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And, of course, guys, I will be doing a live stream, which most likely I think will be starting at 7:30. I probably want to start it then, which I do believe Kid of Awesome will – not Kid of Awesome, that was his former name. Caden LaPlante will be a part of definitely, I think he definitely will be a part of that. I'm pretty sure he will be watching and commenting throughout the night. But overall, guys, let me know what you guys think of the Golden Globe nominations. What do you think is going to win? Love to hear your thoughts on that. I will see you guys in my next video, which most likely will be for the live stream, and I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.